Coach, you guys are. Let's talk about this past weekend and stuff. Just kind of tune-up meet, get some people ready. What was the overall result this past weekend?
It was good. You kind of go into it wondering how things are going to go because you're coming off a spring break. So you're hopeful that the athletes that did go home did do their workouts, and actually we did pretty good. I was pretty happy overall, and just the women's sprint teams are doing great, and the field events on both sides, men and women, are doing great. So it's a good springboard for us for this weekend, going into Stanford and also San Francisco State.
We talked about the two meets this week in Stanford and San Francisco. How do you decide, I guess, which athletes get which event?
For which event? We try to put them in. We try to put them in their strongest event, obviously, just because these two meets, it's very objective in respect to they have to have qualifying marks in order to get into the meets themselves. So Stanford was extremely hard to get into this year, but we were able to get about 8 athletes in, 8 to 10 athletes in, and the remaining team will be able to race at San Francisco on Friday. So it's going to work out well. There's a good overflow from Stanford who didn't get in that can go to San Francisco State and get just as good, if just a little bit less competitive, but it's still going to be a great meet, and we should be able to hit our marks just as we propose to do. So.
Let's talk about the Stanford meet. What's the level of competition there compared to some maybe like the Oregon meet earlier for you guys this season? Is it comparable to the talent we've seen there? Or?
It is. Oregon will allow a smaller size of athletes to go there, and they limit it. But at Stanford, you're going to have just as good, if not a little bit better, competition there because there's a little bit more time between the indoor season ending and now versus what we faced at Oregon 2 weeks ago. So a lot of those athletes are going to probably debut here at Stanford, try to get their NCAA qualifying marks. But overall, it's just going to be a lot of people, a lot of fast people, both nationally and international. A lot of Division I schools are showing up from all over the country. And I think we got the email from San Francisco State's coach, and they said that they have over 20 states represented at the San Francisco meet as well. So that'll be highly competitive as well, more so than the previous years.
That's unbelievable. Looks a lot of competition there. What's the overall strategy heading in when you're facing off against so many opponents, I guess?
You know what? At this point, we are just trying to get the individual athletes to get season PRs right now. Just let's get the ones that are close to qualifying for the national championships. Let's try to get them qualified this weekend. Take some pressure off for the month of April. If we don't hit those qualifying marks, then we'll come back in April with 1 or 2 meets that we'll queue up on and try to get them qualified nationally there as well. So that's the goals. It's more of an individual test and goals than it is a team, but towards the end of the season we'll put it all together so we can do well at the championships. But right now it's all about the individuals and getting the qualifying marks for themselves and for the national championships. That's our goal.
Let's talk about some bright spots. Has there been any big surprises as far as you see in your eyes that somebody's really come on this year?
Yeah, a couple on the Brett Richel. He's a sophomore. He's about 9 to 10 seconds off the steeplechase qualifying mark for NCAA as a provisional mark. He's a nice surprise to have. They added him with Huff and Jansen Ogier. And on the women's side, Jesse Eatman, our freshman. I mean, to get entered into and accepted by both Oregon and Stanford as a freshman, straight out of high school, not a redshirt freshman, that's a great accomplishment. And she's going to be able to piggyback those events, the 100 and 200, with Brittany Chow, who's going to be competing the 100 and the long jump at Stanford. So it's just, those are really nice surprises for a program. And it's just, we've always been known for our distances, but to see it well-rounded and having strong, fast sprinters as well as some throwers, it's just nice to kind of spread out that, I don't know, as a coach, it's that satisfaction. It's just nice having that, and by all means, it's the assistants that put all the work into it that, we can't coach all the events ourselves, but we have 4 assistants that help us greatly, and couldn't do it without them, that's for sure.
That's awesome. That's all the questions I had. Anything else?
That's about it, I think. Hit all the highlights.
Yeah.